Welcome back, Truth Seeker.
And you're making videos with these bullshit calculations about how much money you look how much money you would have lost if you went with Zach's picks last week. First time I ever did a price hike, but to me, even if it's still a bargain rate, I mean, if you look into how much work I put in each month, how much decoding it is, I mean, you're getting a killer deal at both prices.
One last try.
First game of the week, Thursday night football. Historically, a good number in NFL Week 17 is 7. 17 is the 7th prime number. And that 7 does give the underdog Jets a shot at the upset. Notice they could get their 7th win tonight. They could also hold the Browns to 7 home wins. That would have some pretty nice value. That said, I think it's probably wiser to take the Jets with the points. Flacco also has a narrative to potentially get upset. He could get his 83rd loss. We do have 83 date numerology as well. So that's why, the Jets with the points, some reasons to think they can cover that spread. If the Jets upset tonight, that's where the big value is. The Jets can pick up the 7th win in Week 17. Again, historically, that is a good pattern, 17s and 7s. So the Jets, real narrative to upset here. The Browns can also pick up their 55th loss versus the AFC East rather than stay on the 54. As we know, Prime Video is 55 and Thursday Night Football is 257, the 55th Prime. The Browns can stay on 35 home wins versus the AFC East, 35 Thursday. But if they stayed, they'd also stay on 39 all-time home wins, including the playoffs versus the AFC East, where New York's 39. And Flacco, again, could get that 83rd loss on the 83 date numerology. Yeah, Jets, decent narrative to upset, pretty good narrative to cover. How about shut the fuck up, morons? I'm not wrong about anything. One game tonight on this Saturday. It's the Lions and the Cowboys. Goff, he's got an argument to stay on 49 regular season losses. Dallas is 49 date numerology. He'd stay on 52 all-time losses before he played Minnesota, 52 land next week, if the Lions upset. In the franchise, Lions do have a narrative for the 41st win versus the NFC East. Of course, Dallas equals 41 and was established in 1841. If you were going to play this game, you might want to take the dogs with the points. Lions are a 6-point dog. So if the Lions only lost by 5, they would cover the spread, and they would be plus 52 before Minnesota. If they won by 4, say on the 4-date numerology, they'd be plus 61, where Detroit Lions is 61. So you'd have a W either way. There's a narrative there for them to cover. Again, if I was playing this one, I'd come with the base hit strategy, which is the points, in my opinion. The Falcons and Bears game. The 7s can play better for the Bears. Again, I am 7 heavy in Week 17. Again, 17 is the 7th prime, and historically that's the winning combination. Heineke, he could fall to 7-7 away in Week 17. 17 the 7th prime. Chicago divided into 77 neighborhood areas. And the Bears can get their 15th home win over the NFC South, the big Atlanta number. The Bears can also get their 5th home win on the 5-date numerology, and the Falcons can get their 7th loss in the conference as well. Yeah, just the 7 narrative looks better for the favored Bears. The Raiders and Colts. If the Colts win, they're 11-11 versus the Raiders on the 31st. 31 the 11th prime. Minshew can get his 7th home win, and the Colts coach could stay on 7 losses. The Raiders can also stay on 7 wins. The Colts can improve to 7-4 in the conference, where Raiders is 74, just another 7. So pretty much all the 7s are on the Colts side. I am a fan of all those sevens on the Colts side of the equation. The Rams and the Giants game, I know that on the scales, I put the Giants up above, but it's kind of more the thought of taking them with the points. They're a 5.5 point dog on 5-date numerology, and they're the 25 team, and the square root of 25 is 5. The one reason I felt like I had to put the Giants on top of the scales is just because that New York 111's there. And if Stafford loses, he's going to get his 111th loss, and that number's played so many times in New York. I put the Giants up there with the thought of, if you play them, definitely wise to take the points. The Saints and the Bucks, to me, it looks better for Tampa because they got the 11 on their side. Again, it's the 31st of the month, the 11th prime. More date numerology in their favor, more sevens in their favor. I think this looks better for Tampa. The Saints would also fall to 7-9 if they do lose this game, like Tampa Bay is 79 in the most simple cipher. The 5-date numerology is also a better narrative for the Bucks because they can get the 5th home win. But yeah, more weight on the Bucks side for sure.
You know how much money I've pulled out of the casino's pockets? I guarantee you it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
The Titans and the Texans, if Stroud loses, he's going to be 7-7, right? Week 17, 7th prime, Houston equals 77. He'd stay on 5 home wins on the 5-date numerology. Levis can stay on 5 losses. That definitely jumps out. I think taking the Titans with the points is the way to play this game. Yeah, the 7-7 thing in week 17 is probably the top clue. To be safe, I think Titans with the points, smarter way to play it.
People don't listen well. They don't do what I say to do, and then when things go wrong, they cry to me about what happened. Meanwhile, day after day, I'm giving out winning knowledge, smart advice.
Chargers and Broncos, if the Broncos get upset, they're going to fall to 7-9. Chargers is 79 in the most simple cipher. They'd stay on 7 wins in week 17. It does stand out on the surface. And also, if Peyton does lose this week, if the Broncos go down, it would set up the narrative for Peyton to potentially get his 160th win next week, because next week he plays the Las Vegas Raiders, which equals 160 in the most simple cipher. If the Chargers win, both teams are also 4-7 in the conference. Chargers is 47, but yeah, I think it looks a little bit better for the Chargers, but
I mean, the fact that you'd even suggest that I'm a snake oil salesman, again, people are piling up the cash day after day off my sports picks.
Packers and Vikings. Vikings can get the 59th win in the series. 59, 17th prime. This game's 59 days after Jordan Love's birthday. Team get the 59th loss in the series. He can stay on 7 wins and get his 7th away loss. And he can fall to 3-7 away, where Vikings is 37. If the Vikings prevail, Kevin O'Connell would stay on 12 regular season losses. SNF is 12. In the franchise records, it looked like everything was pretty much in the Vikings' favor. Vikings can also stay on 59 losses versus the NFC North, again, 17th prime. Packers can stay on 86 wins versus the NFC North on the 86 date numerology. I think it looks better here for the Vikings. And
You're not me. You're not the person who broke the code. You're not the person who's helped people win for 10 years. I'm sure there's somebody in a casino right now with my picture throwing darts at it. Fuck that guy. Cost us a lot of money again this weekend. And then he's always doing his false math for how much money you would have lost, which is total BS.
congrats to the winners.
Yeah, we hit the bookie nice.
I'll try to finish my NFL notes earlier in the week than I do, so we can talk more about football going into the weekend and hopefully close out with a better regular. I mean, I haven't had a good NFL week since week 11, so that sucks.
Oh, really?
Flashback.
Like this year, I'm not having the greatest NFL season, but week 12 was good.
I haven't had a good NFL week since week 11, so that sucks.
So in a public live stream, he was saying he had a good week 12, yet in his Patreon live stream, he said he hasn't had a good week since week 11. Yet another blatant example of him lying in his public live streams to try and get more Patreon subs.
Again, about Kobe Bryant Day, I'd like to say we're still on, but I have not won the battle over here with Sweet Lady. She is just so opposed to me traveling for anything right now.
Stop whimpering and grow a pair.
And I hate to admit that that's the truth, but that is what's going on. Pussy! If we can get a surge in support for the work.
How about sign up, you fucking bum?
I could have a leg to stand on, but at the time I just don't. Because, again, she just points to the fact that look at your support since you started traveling. It's about half of what it used to be.
And again, his whole goal is to get people to not support me.
So what's the point of traveling when nobody cares? Hardly anybody comes out. It seems to bring more trolls into your life and harassers. And that's not my outlook, but those are all of her arguments. You know the saying, if she's not happy, nobody is, so...
Oh, because of Sweet Lady. Oh, because of Sweet Lady. Oh, because of Sweet Lady. Oh, because stop blaming it on Sweet Lady. It must be sweet motherfucking Zach.
You know, that Jake guy, he's just another irrelevant, fraud from the flat earth community. That's what I think. Another guy that'll talk a whole lot in videos, but then won't come on a live stream. So it just tells you all you need to know about him. He'll make videos about me, but won't come on and discuss anything. Clear fraud of a personality, and again, just another people living off the suckers.
Boy, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black.
There's a lot of places we need to get out and speak. But yeah, again, you guys, it's hard for me to it's hard for me right now to get Sweet Lady on board. She's just seen the consequences of going out and traveling, and so far it has seemed that way, that there's just been nothing but consequences.
Excuses.
I mean, it seemed like a lot of people in the community just became turncoats. Way more trolling, way more harassment. Support fell off. I mean, I can't really point to anything good that's happened for the work since we went out and pounded pavement all over.
Again, you're just making excuses. NFL, again, 2 games today. The hosting teams are Baltimore and the Colts. The Steelers earlier this year, again, they upset the Ravens the day after the death anniversary of Edgar Allan Poe, which was October 7th, 10-7. Interesting now that they can finish the year 10-7. If the Ravens do lose today and the Steelers become 10-7, they'd stay on 13 wins on the 6th. 13 is the 6th prime number. Today is 13 days before Edgar Allan Poe's birth anniversary, which is January 19th. And it's 91 days after his death anniversary, where 91 is the 13th triangular. A few reasons to think that they could stay on those 13 wins and that the Steelers could get to 10-7. And there is a 108 that can play against Harbaugh today. Harbaugh can get his 108th all-time loss, again, against the Pittsburgh Steelers, 108. Steelers are a team you can take with the points. They are a dog.
Look how dumb this man is. This man is so fucking dumb. He doesn't have any knowledge.
Steelers do have a narrative to upset here.
Who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
And it would follow a familiar pattern.
Just want to say congrats to the winners.
We are coming up on one of the best lines I've ever heard in all of the world of comedy. Here we go.
Don't believe the hype from the haters. Join us on Patreon. Come see us like to be on the winning side of things. A lot more often than not.
By the way, I find that to be one of the funniest lines I've ever heard. Seriously. Look in the mirror and see if you can say that out loud without laughing at yourself. Next game, Texans at Colts. The other thing I just thought about is I realize if the Colts win today, it helps improve the odds of a narrative of the Colts playing the Browns, and I could see why they would do that too in light of the whole Baltimore thing, because Cleveland's connected to Baltimore like the Colts. But yeah, the more I think about that, the more it would make sense for the Colts, Browns, Baltimore to all be part of the playoff picture in light of how Baltimore this season's been. So yeah, I'm thinking the Colts do win today actually to set this narrative up. It just makes too much sense. Right now, my hunch is that because the Colts are connected to Baltimore and the Browns became the Ravens, and so much of this season centered around those teams, and they have Baltimore and the Colts playing today, I'm thinking that that's what they're doing. They're lining up the Colts and the Browns for the wild card round. So we'll see if I'm right. I got to lean Colts because of that. Why do you think USA Today wrote their article about me? It's because this was never done before. Casinos have never taken losses like this before. Okay, so Browns and Bengals. Cincinnati's a 6-point favorite at home. The reason to think that the Bengals as a dog could win, you got both backup quarterbacks in. There's a lot of 33 that could show up if the Bengals upset. Cleveland could fall to 3-3 in the division. We know Cleveland likes 33, and if the Bengals won, they'd become 33-33 at home in the division all time. Bengals are a team you could take with the points.
I'm going to start calling myself a fucking retard too if I...
Again, the values with the Bengals, but the Jaguars and Titans, this game right here, I liked it that both coaches made sense if the Jaguars prevailed. Peterson can get his 20th win. Titans is 20 in the most pure. He'd get his 61st win as well, which is the 18th prime. And whoops, I was supposed to say week 18, not 19. I'll go back and fix that. Vrabel can also get his 49th loss. Jaguars equals 49. The Titans can stay on 34 wins in the series. Tennessee's 34, and they'd stay on 18 home wins as well in week 18. Levis can fall to 2-3 at home. Jaguars 23. And Lawrence, who's expected to play, can stay on 16 road losses on the 16-date numerology. The Jags can also get their 7th win in the conference on 7-date numerology and improve to 5-1 in the division, where Nashville's 51. But ultimately, because it lines up with both coaches, I'm leaning towards the Jags here.
I've been predicting the future for over 9 years straight accurately. I get annoyed when people are like, hey, your predictions are nowhere near Nostradamus. You know what, you guys? This is not a false statement. I could wipe my ass with the name Nostradamus. Literally. Literally.
The Jets and Patriots, if Belichick did lose, he would get his 165th loss, and New York Jets is 165 in the most simple. So I'm leaning a little bit towards the Jets upset. Jets are a dog, so you could take them with the points. And Falcons at Saints, I don't want to jinx it, but I see one of the better quarterback narratives, and that's where I usually feel the best about picks is when there's a good quarterback narrative. Carr can get his 40th home win. Atlanta Falcons is 40 in the most pure, and historically that's a good number with the Falcons. So I do like that Carr can get his 40th home win over the right team. So yeah, Heineke has the numbers to lose. Carr has the numbers to win. So the QB standpoint, it looks good for the Saints. The Bears and Packers, the Fields can get his 28th loss, and Packers is 28 in the most pure. So that's what jumped out to me the most about that game. Again, the best QB narrative is Fields getting that 28th loss versus the Packers. The Eagles and the Giants, seemingly there's a decent amount here for the Giants to upset, and we were talking about how the Eagles, or the freeway collapse in Philadelphia on I-95, how it seems to be synced with the NFL season. That was on the 11th day of the 6th month, the 11th of June. Notice how the Giants can become 6-11 and the Eagles can become 11-6. It was a collapse. If the Eagles lose to the Giants, people are going to look at the end of their season losing to these loser teams, the Cardinals, the Giants. That might be the conversation. Are the Eagles collapsing at the end of the year? Giants can also get their 89th win in the series, which is the 24th prime. Here we are at the start of 24. But yeah, I think if you play this game, Giants with the points is probably the way to go. Okay, the Cardinals and Seahawks. There is an argument for Geno Smith to stay on 36 losses, which is historically a good number at the Cardinals. But if Carroll did win, he'd get his 181st win, which is the 42nd prime, and Arizona is 42, and Washington's the 42nd state. The conference record could make sense if the Seahawks won, and their division record could make sense if the Seahawks won. The Cardinals' conference record could also make sense if the loss. So it does look like there's more going for the Seahawks. Yeah, it does look like there's a bit more for the Seahawks to prevail. Chiefs and Chargers. Looking at Blaine Gabbert, who's in for Mahomes, he seemingly has some numbers that could make sense if he just stayed put on his 13 wins and 4 road wins. Those are big LA numbers. Stick is trying to get his first career win. He could become 1-3. We know LA's got the 13 connection, so does KC. Andy Reid can get his 161st loss, which is the Los Angeles number. So perhaps the Chargers do win the meaningless game. It does look like the Chargers could prevail in the meaningless game based on Andy Reid's potential 161st loss, where again, Los Angeles is 161.
Another wrong prediction.
People want to focus on the things where I've been wrong, you know? Why?
Okay, Bills and Dolphins. Bills, really want to win this game if they're going to get into the playoffs, but it's the there's seemingly quite a few numbers going against him. If Allen loses, he's going to be 27-18 away. Buffalo is 27, Bills is 18. Most pure cipher. 27-18 to be perfect for the team he plays for. Plus Miami likes 27. He can stay on 27 road wins in Miami. Again, that 27-18 has some rhyme and reason. Tua can stay on 18 losses. It's week 18 and Bills is 18. It's that 27-18 that's really standing out to me the most for Allen's record. But yeah, it is the 27-18 that stands out the most to me. Buffalo 27, Bills 18, week 18. Miami 27.
I'm not a greedy person. I don't say, here, to get my sports picks, you got to pay $500 a month, even though they're worth that. You know, they're worth that.
You've been going with my picks this season. You've been doing just fine. You did straight bets on every game I like this year. You've hit some big upsets, and you've won a lot. Anybody who says otherwise is a fucking loser and fraud.
I mean, it's been winning.
You've been going with my picks this season. You've been doing just fine. You did straight bets on every game I like this year. You've hit some big upsets, and you've won a lot. Anybody who says otherwise is a fucking loser and fraud.
He's a bullshitter. He's a scammer.
To retire, and you need to shut it down.
Somebody says, Zach, you are exactly like the Department of Homeland Security. You censor anyone who disagrees with you. Yeah, fair words. Fair words. Nope, I don't, but I do get rid of the trolls since you guys are paid to harass the community every single day. And
No, that's not trolls and haters. Those are people who are giving you the facts, and you don't like hearing it.
yeah, by the way, you guys, if you guys want to see me out in front of the sports stadiums again, waking up the fans, we need more support. Are any of you worthless losers in the chat pitching in $1? My support's way down since I went out all across America and spoke out about this knowledge publicly and did a damn good job. Woke up a lot of people on the street. But for whatever reason, since I did that, just the support for the work is way down. And sweet lady here at home is just saying, see, Zach, no reason to go out and travel, not enough support. In fact, your support fell way off. So what's the point?
Fucking ungrateful losers.
So yeah, you guys want to see this at the Super Bowl this year? The only way it's happening is if the support gets way up.
All right, fine. Fine. Here you go. Because this is what it's all about, right? Motherfucking cock-sucking money. Here.
And stop being the losers for all the people who drop by and leave the shitty comments in the chat. You guys are pathetic. Anyone who leaves a comment like, you lose way more than you win with Gematria. Only if you're retarded, literally. Only if you're retarded are you losing more with this knowledge than winning.
I'm gonna start calling myself a fucking retard too.
I mean, we've compiled a long pile of winning history.
Sure, Dan.
Saw a debate last night on YouTube between two people debating over what should happen to Jamal Bowman, who pulled the fire alarm some months back. You might recall, and we covered that, what a ritual it was. I've never really been envious of anyone. I mean, just that debate last night over that was just raking in the donations.
Imagine all that money had come to me. Me.
So, you know, we can do a 3-hour broadcast over here. We'll be lucky to raise $10. You can have a debate over some nonsense in the mainstream. You can make thousands. So, again, I know what it is at the end of the day. It's envy. It's envy. That's the sin that he's suffering from. Like,
and then I see guys like Gematria try to like dedicate his whole entire channel to being a troll.
You can't combat the uncombatible. Watching you guys try to refute and combat what I bring is funny.
Like, nobody really cares about knowledge. It's like they only care about gambling, using your knowledge to win money, and then if they don't win money, then they get mad at you saying that your work is false. Like, to me, that's just utter bullshit.
Oh, what, you gonna cry?
No.
No, go ahead, cry. Let me see you. Let me see you cry.
yeah, I feel bad that I haven't been to Atlanta as well. I really do want to get to Atlanta. But yeah, nobody's hearing me on getting the support up. The support just goes down each month. Doing more work than ever this month, the support's even more down.
Gee, that's too bad.
Yeah, too bad.
Did you ever follow the community? You said your mom did the urine diet. Did she go through it? Did she say no, the hell with it, or what happened?
Well, my mom's mad because I haven't been covering what she's been sharing with me. Apparently, after 2 days of the yellow treatment, all of her scars on her body disappeared. And I said, well, did you take some before and after pictures? And I said, at least send me some pictures now of your arms, and she still hasn't. So anyway, I'll keep people posted. But she says 48 hours of the yellow treatment has got her scars all gone.
A steaming crock of shit.
All right, let's go out to 518.
Hey, Zach, it's President Joe Biden. Your sport picks suck worse than my presidential decisions.
Yeah. Another winning day, troll. Keep trying.
Your mom's already having some success with the urine therapy. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so she says. She didn't send any photos, but
You could use it topically as well. People use it to get rid of wrinkles and scars topically, not just from the inside. But that was one of the things that I said when I talked about it, is it has stem cells in it, so it can bring forth like regeneration of certain things, including like, you know, organs or portions of organs that have died off in the body and such. So
again, you just listen to it. It's like mental illness.
I'm curious to see how she does with this over time. And you know, I was expecting to call today and ask about it and say no, she didn't start it, but I guess she's gonna follow through.
Yeah, I think she's on it. She's figured out how to flavor it and everything.
Really, she flavors it. Okay. Like Arthur does this a lot. He ruins his video by saying something that's fundamentally not true, and I'm like, man, that's going to ruin the whole video. Somebody who knows the facts is going to be like, I'm not listening to this guy. What he just said is totally false. And first, the joke in the NFL, Robert Kraft of Kraft Foods, who... Look how dumb this man is. This man is so fucking dumb. He doesn't have any knowledge. Who owns the New England Patriots, hired Gerard Mayo. Mayo like mayonnaise, when that's exactly how Kraft markets mayonnaise. They call their product real mayo. So now they got Gerard Mayo and
Need to retire, and you need to shut it down.
Till next time, Truth Seeker.